Welcome to Zoe Stories. My sister's friends think I'm her twin, and so does her boyfriend. I never wanted to be seen this way. Not by Emma. Not by my sister. And definitely not by her friends or her boyfriend. But somehow, everything spiraled, fast, and now I'm sitting here, hair curled, lip gloss shimmering under the hallway light, wearing a crop top that still smells faintly like my sister's perfume, pretending I'm her. My name is Josh. I'm 21. And this wasn't supposed to happen. It all started in the quietest, most ordinary way. I live with my older sister, Katie. We share an apartment near campus. Cheap rent, split bills, and an awkward understanding that we'd give each other space. Katie's always been the popular one, outgoing, stylish, confident. The kind of girl who commands attention the moment she walks into a room. Me? I'm not that. I'm a computer science major. I've got 3 monitors, a growing list of RPGs in my Steam library, and a knack for fixing anything digital. I keep to myself. Social stuff? Not my thing. Except there's something I've never told anyone, not even Katie. For as long as I can remember, I've been curious. Not just curious in the casual way, but the kind of curiosity that keeps you up at night, that lives in the shadows of your mind. When I was 15, I tried on one of Katie's dresses. Just once. It was electric. The sensation of soft fabric brushing against my legs, the unfamiliar weight of something feminine resting on my body. It felt like slipping into a version of myself that had always existed, quietly, waiting to breathe. I told myself it was just a phase. But that phase never ended. Now, when Katie's not home, I sometimes explore her wardrobe. I experiment. Lipstick, mascara, even heels. Not every time, but often enough that I know exactly how she does her eyeliner. I don't know if I do it because I want to be her, or if I just want to escape who I am. Maybe both. It's a private thing. A sacred thing. And no one was ever supposed to know. Especially Emma. Emma's my girlfriend. We've been dating for almost a year now. She's sweet, kind, laughs at my dumb jokes, and somehow, she finds my awkwardness endearing. She's also sharp, observant, which makes keeping secrets from her feel like a ticking time bomb. I care about her. Deeply. But there's always been this invisible wall between us, the part of me I've never had the courage to share. Every time I think about telling her, I imagine her smile fading, her pulling back, asking questions I don't know how to answer. Like, do you want to be a girl? Are you gay? Do you think about me when you wear her clothes? I don't even know what the answers are. So I stay silent. I keep Emma at a comfortable distance, even when we're cuddling, even when she tells me she loves me. I don't say it back. Not yet. Not when part of me is still hiding. Katie left town for the weekend. Some impromptu road trip with her college friends. That meant the apartment was mine. Empty. Free. And that dangerous, exciting thought entered my mind. Just one outfit. Just a little time. Emma wasn't supposed to come over. We had no plans. And I knew Katie wouldn't be back until Sunday. It was perfect. So I picked the closet lock, yes, I know how, and stepped into the familiar, feminine world that wasn't mine but felt like it could be. A matching bra and panty set, lace, soft pink. A white pleated mini skirt. A crop top that said, "Good vibes only," in glittery silver letters. Light foundation. Blush. A soft wing with liquid liner. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't see Josh anymore. I saw someone new. Someone pretty. Someone exciting. The apartment felt different when I was dressed. More alive. Like I was part of some secret movie scene that only I could see. I strutted quietly down the hall, heels clicking softly against the hardwood, and practiced a few poses I'd seen Katie do in selfies. I was halfway through taking a filtered photo just for myself when my phone buzzed. Emma. Hey babe. On my way. Thought I'd surprise you. Hope that's okay. My heart stopped. She was coming. I looked at the time. She was 15 minutes away. I'd never changed out of clothes so fast in my life. But in my rush, I made one mistake. I didn't put Katie's clothes back. They were all still on the bed. Her favorite crop top, the pink lace set, the heels tossed carelessly to the side. I threw my hoodie over it just as the doorbell rang. I opened it, sweaty, anxious, trying to smile, and Emma walked in holding a box of pastries and a little bouquet. She kissed my cheek. "Miss me?" I nodded mutely, brain racing. But just when I thought I was safe, she glanced toward Katie's room and raised an eyebrow. "You weren't entertaining someone else, were you?" she teased. I laughed, too loudly.
"What? No."
"Of course not." She narrowed her eyes slightly. "Then whose shoes are those?" My blood froze. I had left the heels by the couch. Emma kept staring at the heels. Not in a loud, accusing way, but with that quiet curiosity that makes your stomach churn. She tilted her head and let her eyes linger on them just a second too long before turning back to me. "They're cute," she said slowly, "but I don't think I've seen Katie wear that pair before." I swallowed. Yeah, probably new. Emma didn't push it, but her smile lingered a little too long, like she was testing something, or waiting for me to slip. That night, I couldn't sleep. My heart was pounding even though the apartment was silent. Emma had gone home, but her words kept replaying in my mind. Did she know? No, if she knew, she would have said something. Right? But there was something in her tone, not accusation, but curiosity. Maybe even amusement. Like she suspected something, but wasn't sure what. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, my mind spiraling. I should have cleaned up better. I shouldn't have tried anything that bold. And yet, even through the fear, part of me felt exhilarated. She saw the shoes.
She asked about them.
And I didn't completely panic. Maybe, just maybe, I could keep this secret under control. Katie was still out of town. And Emma texted me saying she'd be busy most of the day, which meant I had time. Dangerous, precious time. I told myself I wouldn't do it, that I'd spend the day coding or cleaning. But the moment I walked past Katie's room and caught a faint scent of her perfume, it was over. I opened the closet. This time, I took my time. I started with a pair of sheer nude tights, pulling them gently up my legs, feeling that familiar electric shiver as they clung to my skin. Then a pale yellow sundress, soft and feminine, with thin straps and a skirt that flared at my hips. I styled my hair with a bit of heat and spray. Katie had left her straightener plugged in. I wasn't amazing at it, but I could make it work. Makeup was still the hardest part. My hands trembled as I applied foundation, blush, and a soft pink gloss. But with each stroke of eyeliner, I felt myself disappearing and her coming to life. The mirror didn't show Josh anymore. It showed someone lighter, prettier, more confident, someone free. I didn't have a name for her. This version of me. She existed only in the mirror, in borrowed dresses and secret moments. She didn't have a voice, because if she spoke out loud, everything would collapse. But today she wanted to walk. So I let her. Heels clicked softly against the floor. I walked from one end of the apartment to the other, swaying gently, adjusting posture, even smiling at my reflection in the window. I wasn't trying to be Katie, but the resemblance was eerie. Same build, same height. With makeup, even the face looked similar. Almost like you could be twins. The thought hit me so suddenly I froze in place. Katie used to joke about it when we were younger. "Come on, Joshie, if I put you in a wig, we'd be twins." She thought it was funny. I laughed along. I never told her how the idea made my stomach twist.
And now?
Now I was wearing her dress, her perfume, her smile. And it wasn't a joke anymore. The guilt began to creep in. I wasn't just borrowing clothes. I was becoming something else. Someone else. Behind her back. Behind Emma's back. It was wrong. But it also felt so damn right. Just then, a knock echoed through the apartment. Knock, knock, knock. I froze mid-step, heart slamming into my chest. No one was supposed to come over. Another knock. 3 quick raps. I tiptoed toward the door, peeking through the peephole, my breath catching. It was Rachel, one of Katie's best friends. The one with the dramatic eyeliner and the sharpest tongue in the group. She looked impatient, scrolling her phone with one hand while knocking again with the other. She hadn't seen me. She couldn't. I backed away slowly, heels clicking like thunder. Then I remembered. I was still fully dressed. Wig, makeup, dress, everything. What if she had seen me through the peephole glass? Then, in a move that can only be described as temporary insanity, I crept to Katie's door, grabbed a denim jacket, and whispered to myself, if I pretend to be Katie, maybe she won't know. I knew it was risky. Stupid even. But some part of me, maybe the reckless, feminine part, felt a strange calm. I opened the door slightly. Rachel looked up. Oh, she said, startled. Then her expression relaxed. Hey, Katie, you look different today. New makeup? My throat dried up. But I nodded. She didn't notice. She thought I was Katie. Rachel handed me a bag. You left this at my place last week. I figured you'd want it before your dinner with Ryan tonight. I blinked. Dinner with
Ryan?
Katie's boyfriend?
Right.
Thanks. Rachel gave me a playful nudge. You okay? You seem kinda out of it. I forced a smile. Just tired. She shrugged. Well, you look great. Better get ready. He texted me like 3 times about what you're wearing. He's obsessed. She winked, turned, and walked away. I shut the door, hands trembling. Rachel had just mistaken me for Katie. And worse, she thought I had a date with Katie's boyfriend. I stood frozen in front of the closed door, Rachel's words still ringing in my ears. You better get ready. He texted me like 3 times about what you're wearing. He's obsessed.
Ryan.
Katie's boyfriend. Coming here. Tonight. To have dinner with me?
No.
This had gone too far. I needed to strip everything off, wipe my face clean, shove all of Katie's clothes back in her closet, and pretend nothing had happened. But I didn't move. Instead, I stared at myself in the mirror. The soft waves of the wig framed my face perfectly. The sundress clung to my body like it belonged there. And in my reflection's eyes, there wasn't fear. There was a question. Could I pull it off again? I knew this was reckless. Insane even. But there's something about being seen, believed, that's addicting. Rachel hadn't just accepted the illusion.
She complimented me.
She saw me and she didn't flinch. It wasn't just about crossdressing anymore. It was about control. About stepping into a version of myself that no one questioned. About the rush of getting away with it. And somewhere beneath that thrill, a quiet, terrifying thought crept in. I liked being her twin. My phone lit up. Ryan. On my way. Got the reservation at 7. You'd better not bail on me again. I almost dropped the phone. I should have texted him back. Cleared up the misunderstanding. But my fingers hovered over the screen, frozen. Because the girl in the mirror wanted to go. The universe, as if sensing my descent into chaos, decided now was the perfect moment to unleash its wrath. Knock, knock. Another door knock. I wasn't ready. I wasn't even fully sure what I was doing. But my body moved on autopilot, slipping into Katie's wedges and grabbing her clutch. I opened the door slowly, and there he was. Ryan.
Tall.
Handsome. Cocky grin. Wearing a black button-up and holding a bouquet of red tulips. Damn, you clean up really nice, he said. My heart nearly exploded. Ryan leaned in and kissed me, softly on the cheek. I froze. My breath hitched. I felt the press of his lips like a brand on my skin. This wasn't a game anymore. I needed to end it.
Right now.
But when I opened my mouth to speak, what came out wasn't truth. It was Katie's voice. I thought we were meeting at the restaurant, I said, adjusting my tone to mimic hers.
He laughed.
Traffic's a nightmare. I figured we'd Uber together. Then he looked me up and down. That dress, he whistled. You look incredible tonight. I nodded, barely breathing. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. We didn't get far. As soon as we stepped out of the building, Ryan called the Uber. While we waited, I clutched the clutch bag tight, my mind racing. If I got in that car, I was going to dinner with Katie's boyfriend. As Katie, the lie had gone too far. And then, as if God himself tried to save me, Katie. I turned. Emma was standing there, grocery bag in one hand, confusion written all over her face. Ryan turned too. Oh, hey, You're one of Katie's neighbors, right? He asked Emma casually. We met at the birthday thing. Emma didn't respond. Her eyes were locked on me. Or rather, on the way I looked. The makeup.
The wig.
The dress. The shoes.
Josh.
But not Josh. Katie, but wrong. Too still. Too pale. Emma blinked, shook her head, then smiled tightly. Sorry. Thought you were someone else. She turned and walked away without another word. My entire body trembled. Ryan didn't notice. But Emma had. She knew. I should have turned back. Instead, I got in the Uber.
I don't remember much of the drive.
I barely responded when Ryan cracked jokes. My hands trembled the entire ride. But somewhere inside, a storm was brewing. A blend of shame, fear, and something darker. Excitement. It was a dim, trendy place. Candlelit tables, expensive cocktails, and polished menus. Ryan pulled out my chair, ordered us wine, and started talking about his business classes. I nodded, pretending to listen. But my mind was spiraling. He had no idea I wasn't Katie. And I was getting away with it. I smiled. Not because I was happy, but because it felt like the only mask I had left. And then, you seem different tonight, Ryan said suddenly. I like it. You're softer. Quieter. I looked down. Just tired. He reached across the table, took my hand, and squeezed. You're still beautiful. I excused myself and nearly ran to the women's restroom. As soon as the door closed, I collapsed against the counter. Tears welled in my eyes. What was I doing? This wasn't a joke anymore. It wasn't dress up. I had crossed every line, and now I was stealing moments that didn't belong to me. I splashed cold water on my face, ruining part of the foundation, and stared into the mirror.
Who was I?
Josh. Katie's twin? Something in between? Back at the table, Ryan checked his phone and grinned. By the way, your friend Emma texted me. My heart stopped. She what?
Yeah, weird.
She just said, tell Katie I hope she's honest soon.
He laughed.
What's that about? I forced a smile. No idea. The restaurant felt colder now. Not because of the air conditioning, but because every word Ryan said floated around me like static. I couldn't focus. My skin itched beneath the sundress. The wig suddenly felt too tight. The lip gloss tasted like guilt. All I could think about was Emma's message. Tell Katie I hope she's honest soon. It wasn't a joke. It was a warning. She knew. Ryan offered to split dessert. I told him I had a headache. Thankfully, he didn't argue. He just paid the bill and called another Uber. The car ride home was silent. But in my head, a storm raged. I kept seeing Emma's face when she saw me. Her confusion. Her heartbreak. Her trying to understand, and choosing to walk away instead. I wanted to chase after her. To explain. But what could I even say? Hey, Emma, surprise. You just saw your boyfriend dressed like your roommate's twin sister, about to have dinner with her actual boyfriend.
Yeah.
That would go over well. I closed the apartment door behind me and leaned against it, eyes shut. The wig itched. The makeup felt heavy. And the dress, once so thrilling, now clung like a lie I couldn't escape. I made it to the bedroom, yanked off the heels, and stood barefoot in the middle of the mess I'd created. Lipstick-stained tissues. Stray earrings. Katie's makeup scattered like forensic evidence. What was I doing? Why didn't I stop? What part of me wanted to be seen? I reached for the mirror and stared. One hand lifted the wig. Half Josh. Half Katie. A stranger. I jumped when my phone vibrated. Emma, I'm coming over. Just 3 words. My breath caught in my throat. I wanted to run.
Hide.
Rip off the dress and dive into a hoodie and jeans like this never happened. But I didn't move. For once, I was tired of hiding. Maybe she deserved to see it all. Her knock was softer than usual. Hesitant. I opened the door slowly. She stood there, arms crossed, eyes guarded. I didn't say anything. She stepped inside, looked me up and down, and exhaled sharply. You're still wearing it, she said. I nodded. Silence stretched between us, like an invisible battlefield. Then she laughed. Not cruelly. Not mockingly,
but sadly.
"Tell me everything," she said, voice trembling.
Now.
I told her everything. About the first time I tried on Katie's clothes. The thrill, the fear, the loneliness. How it wasn't just about clothes, but about feeling like someone else. Someone lighter. Someone real. I told her about today. The shoes. Rachel. Ryan. The dinner. I watched her face harden with every word. But she didn't walk out. She listened. Until finally, I broke. "I didn't want to lie," I whispered. "But I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't even understand it myself." She stepped closer. "But you understand it now." I hesitated. "I think so," I whispered. "When I'm like this, I feel more me than I do as Josh." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Do you love me?" she asked. The question hit like a punch. "Yes," I said instantly. "But do you want to be me?" That I couldn't answer. She shook her head. "You didn't just lie to me. You tried to become someone else while you were still with me." I reached for her hand. "Emma." She pulled back. "I can't do this. Not like this. I don't even know who I'm looking at." She turned toward the door, then paused. "She's beautiful," she said quietly. "But she's not honest." Then she left. I sank to the floor, shoulders shaking. The apartment was silent again. But now it felt like a graveyard. I had wanted to be seen. Now I had been. And she was gone. The door opened. I gasped and scrambled to my feet. Katie walked in, bags in hand, sunglasses on, still chatting on the phone.
She froze when she saw me.
Makeup smudged. Wig slightly crooked. Still wearing her dress. "I'll call you back," she said into the phone, then slowly set her purse down. Her eyes narrowed. "What the hell is going on?" I tried to explain, but nothing came out. Katie looked at me like I was a stranger. Like she didn't recognize her own brother. "You went to my stuff? You wore my clothes?" Her voice cracked with betrayal. "Did you invite someone over like this?" I shook my head. "I didn't mean. You're wearing the dress Ryan bought me for our anniversary." The words stabbed me. I hadn't known. Now I did. She stepped forward, voice lowering. "Did he see you?" I nodded slowly. Her eyes went wide. And then her phone buzzed. Katie glanced down. Her face paled. Then she looked up at me with horror. "You had dinner with him." "As me." Katie stared at her phone, pale and shaking. The silence between us felt unbearable. I had never seen her like this, not furious, not disgusted, just shocked.
Betrayed.
Her voice broke the quiet. "Did you kiss him?" The question tore right through me. "No," I blurted out. "He kissed me. On the cheek." I didn't ask for this." "You dressed like me." Her voice was rising now. "You talked like me. You wore my perfume, my dress, my face." She stepped forward. "Don't you dare pretend you didn't want him to believe it." My mouth opened to protest, but nothing came out. Because she was right. Some part of me had wanted to be her. Not to steal her life, but to feel what it was like. To be adored. To be seen as effortlessly confident. Beautiful.
To be Katie.
The second knock in 2 days that made my soul jump out of my body. Katie snapped her head toward the door, fuming. If that's Emma. But it wasn't. When she opened the door, Ryan stood there. "Hey," he said casually, then froze. His eyes darted to me, still in the same dress, makeup smeared, wig askew. His face twisted in confusion. "Wait, what the hell?" "Meet Josh," Katie snapped. "My brother." Ryan's jaw dropped. "That's your brother?" I turned away, burning with shame. Ryan looked at Katie. "You told me you had a younger sister." Katie nearly laughed. "I don't. Not biologically. But clearly, someone really wanted to be one." He took a step inside. "I thought it was weird," he muttered. "At dinner. You were different." I didn't look at him. "You flirted," he said coldly. "You played along." "I didn't mean to," I whispered. "I didn't. You let me kiss you. That was your mistake." Katie snapped at him. "You should have known the difference." Ryan scoffed. "Don't put this on me. You two are freaks." That word hit like a blade. Katie's expression changed instantly. Get out. He hesitated. I said get out. Ryan threw up his hands and stormed out, muttering something under his breath. The door slammed. Silence fell. Katie turned back to me, tears forming now. Why would you do this to me? Her voice cracked. What did I ever do to deserve this? I didn't mean to hurt you, I whispered. You didn't just hurt me. You humiliated me. My boyfriend kissed you. My friend saw you. What if Rachel finds out? I didn't answer. Her fists clenched. This was supposed to be my life. And you walked right into it like it was a costume. I felt the tears rising in my throat. It wasn't like that. Then what was it, Josh? My voice trembled. I don't know who I am. She didn't respond. I walked slowly to the mirror. The girl staring back wasn't Josh. But she wasn't Katie either. Her mascara was smudged. Lipstick faded. The wig slightly off-center. She looked exhausted. And real. I touched my cheek, stared into those eyes, and whispered.
She's not you.
She's me. Katie stood behind me now, watching. You said you don't want to be me. But you walked, talked, flirted, smiled like me. I didn't know how else to feel alive. Silence. I lifted the wig gently, held it in my hands. But I couldn't let go. Katie walked away. I stayed standing, trembling. The guilt, the shame, the adrenaline, all of it crashed down at once. My knees buckled. I fell to the floor and sobbed. Not because I was caught, but because a part of me had been set free, and now no one wanted to see her. I sat in the living room, wig off, dress folded beside me, face bare. Katie returned, calmer now. She sat across from me, legs curled under her. I don't understand, she said quietly. I don't either. She looked down. Is this permanent? I shook my head. It's not that simple. She nodded. So, what now? I don't know, I said honestly. But I think I need to figure it out. Not in secret. Not in someone else's clothes. She nodded slowly. I want to support you, she said. But you have to stop stealing my life to do it. I'm sorry. I know. My phone buzzed. A text from Emma. Emma,
I don't hate you.
but I don't know if I can love someone who's not honest with themselves.
I stared at it.
Tears welled again. I stood up, walked to the mirror again, picked up the wig, looked at myself, half Josh, half the girl I'd pretended to be. And for the first time, I saw a third person. Someone I didn't know yet. But maybe one day I would. It had been 3 days since everything collapsed. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Katie and I weren't exactly okay, but we'd stopped fighting. She was giving me space, or maybe she didn't know what to say anymore. Emma hadn't called. Ryan hadn't shown up again. And I hadn't touched Katie's closet. Not once. I sat by the window, watching raindrops streak down the glass. Wearing my usual clothes, sweats and a hoodie, my skin felt dull, like something had been erased. I thought dressing like her was the problem. But now I realized it wasn't about being Katie. It was about being me. And I still didn't know who that was. That evening, Katie entered the room holding something wrapped in tissue paper. She didn't say anything, just set it on the table and walked away. Curious, I unwrapped it. Inside was a brand new wig, chestnut brown, softer than her usual ones, styled slightly different. Not hers.
Mine.
There was a note underneath. If you're going to be someone, don't steal. Create.
K.
My hands trembled as I picked it up. Right then, the doorbell buzzed. I flinched. Katie poked her head out of her room. You expecting someone? I shook my head. She shrugged and went back inside. I hesitated, then crossed the living room, wig still in hand, and opened the door. Standing there was Rachel, Katie's best friend, the one who had handed me the bag, the one who called me Katie, without hesitation. She was holding her phone, face unreadable. I knew something was off, she said slowly. You were too quiet. You stood weird. And Katie never wears that much lip gloss. My blood turned to ice. Rachel stepped closer. But here's the thing. She held up her phone. A photo of me mid-walk, back when I thought no one saw me by the window.
Wig on.
Dress perfect. Smile soft.
Caught.
I want to know everything, Rachel said.
Pause.
Then she smiled, slowly, wickedly. Because honestly, you pull it off better than Katie ever did. Before I could respond, she stepped inside and shut the door behind her.